New Shoreham, located on Block Island, was known for its charming, picturesque setting. Amidst the scenic beauty and historic buildings was an old cafe that had been around for decades. The locals called it the Shadows Café, and it had a reputation for being haunted. People whispered about strange occurrences and ghostly apparitions, but the cafe's allure was too strong for some to resist. Sophia, a writer seeking inspiration for her next novel, decided to visit the cafe after hearing the stories. She arrived on a foggy afternoon, the mist giving the island an ethereal quality. The cafe, with its weathered wooden sign and ivy-covered facade, looked both inviting and mysterious. As she entered, the doorbell chimed softly, and the scent of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. The interior was cozy, with worn wooden tables and chairs, vintage photographs on the walls, and a fireplace crackling in the corner. The atmosphere seemed warm and welcoming, but there was an underlying tension that Sophia couldn't quite place. Sophia took a seat by the window, her notebook and pen ready. An elderly woman with kind eyes and a slight smile approached her. "Welcome to the Shadows Café," she said. "What can I get for you today?" "I'll have a cappuccino, please," Sophia replied, smiling back. As the woman walked away, Sophia noticed a group of patrons in the corner, speaking in hushed tones. Their eyes darted nervously around the room, and one of them, a young man, seemed particularly agitated. He kept glancing at the empty chair beside him, as if expecting someone to appear. Sophia began jotting down notes, her curiosity piqued. She watched as the young man whispered something to his companions, and they all turned to look at her. Feeling a bit unnerved, she focused on her notebook, pretending not to notice. Moments later, the elderly woman returned with Sophia's cappuccino. "Enjoy," she said, her smile fading as she glanced towards the corner. Sophia took a sip of her drink, savoring the rich, velvety taste. As she settled into her writing, she heard a soft whisper. She looked up, but no one was near her table. The whispers grew louder, forming words that sent chills down her spine. "Help us," the voices seemed to say. "Free us from the shadows." Sophia's heart raced. She scanned the room, but the other patrons were engrossed in their conversations. She decided to investigate. Setting her notebook aside, she approached the group in the corner. "Excuse me," she said softly. "I couldn't help but notice you seem troubled. Is everything all right?" The young man looked up, his eyes filled with fear. "You can hear them, can't you?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Who?" asked Sophia, though she already knew the answer. "The voices. The shadows. They're trapped here, bound to this place. We come to listen, to try and help, but we don't know how." Sophia felt a cold breeze brush past her, and the whispers intensified. "What happened here?" she asked. The elderly woman, who had been watching from behind the counter, approached them. "It happened many years ago," she began, her voice heavy with sorrow. "A terrible fire broke out during a stormy night. Many lives were lost, and their spirits became trapped within these walls. They reach out, hoping for release, but their anguish keeps them bound." Sophia's mind raced. She felt a connection to the place, as if she were meant to be there. "How can we help them?" she asked, her determination growing. The elderly woman placed a gentle hand on Sophia's shoulder. "They need closure, a way to move on. We must acknowledge their presence, understand their pain, and offer them peace." Sophia nodded. "Let's do it. How can we begin?" Together, they gathered the patrons and held a small ceremony, lighting candles and sharing stories of the lives lost in the fire. Sophia read aloud from her notebook, recounting the history of the cafe and the tragic events that had occurred. As she spoke, the whispers grew softer, transforming into sighs of relief. The air in the cafe seemed to lighten, and a sense of peace settled over the room. The shadows that had once haunted the place began to fade, their restless spirits finally finding solace. Sophia left the Shadows Café with a newfound sense of purpose and inspiration for her novel. The cafe continued to serve its patrons, no longer haunted by the ghosts of the past. The legend of the Shadows Café lived on, but now as a story of redemption and peace, thanks to Sophia's courage and compassion.